We haven't cooperated with outland states for a long time, as there has been no necessity. But, given the current special circumstances, we need Eastia's experience, since they are experts in dealing with that monster. Please.
The Sun Crow brings drought and devastation, and this is just the beginning. As an envoy of Eastia, I cannot sit back knowing such evils at play. That monster has plagued Eastia for years. We've fought it for decades, gaining experience along the way. Last year's natural disaster broke its seal, allowing it to escape. Of course, Eastia would hunt it down wherever it may flee. We've traveled thousands of miles here, hoping to help you all quell this disaster.
You defeated it 7 years ago? How many hypercubes did it take to deal with an Apostle of Ashes of this magnitude?
I'll be frank. After the disaster in NF-106 disrupted our trade, Eastia's hypercube reserves were nearly depleted. We could only rely on our own strength to defeat the Sun Crow.
We've reviewed yesterday's battle records. Indeed, you used some kind of sorcery to successfully suppress the Sun Crow Apostle. The effect was significant and entirely different from modern hypercube technology. We've long heard about Eastia's special sorcery for controlling mania. May I ask if it's a kind of mania sorcery? Where did it come from and how was it developed?
It's just some sorcery passed down among Eastia's seers that permits minor restrictions on the Sun Crow's actions. What truly helped us overcome the calamity and defeat the evil was an ancient myth that has been passed down in Eastia for millennia. The perishing star falls, calamities descend. Our ancestors had long foretold the era of great disasters and recorded the true method to subdue demons and legends.
The fall of the perishing star occurred just over a century ago. Did Eastia foresee the calamity before then? What method could they have suggested to resist the Apostle of Ashes thousands of years ago, back when humanity hadn't even discovered gunpowder?
Eastia has always been home to gifted individuals whom we call seers. They are capable of spiritual communication and are the interpreters and scribes of myths. I'll let her take over the introduction.
The sun deformed, demise befell. Hills burned and charred, lives ebbed and fell. Yan Yan, the seer of Sun Sink City. Seers communicate with the spirits, decipher scriptures, repel demons, and comfort the masses. What I've just recited is the Ode to Sun, a millennium-old myth from Eastia. It details the origin of the Sun Crow calamity and the method to eradicate it. Yan Yan has committed every detail to memory. Specifically, ages past, there emerged from the sun a giant bird known as the Sun Crow. It embodied both deity and evil, wielding unrivaled fiery might. Humans must worship it respectfully, or else, if the Sun Crow got angry, disaster would follow its flight, casting misfortune upon all in its path. In other words, poison uncured from plants impure, dragon's frenzy, bane of the sea, minds invaded by foul spirits, 10 suns in sky, lest crops survived. Came a tough time when harvests were poor and offerings grew meager. Feeling neglected, the Sun Crow was furious and inflicted 3 great calamities on the populace as punishment. Eventually, 10 suns rose in the sky at once, threatening to burn everything down. And then... brave champions sang, sunward quest began. Crimson bow taught, white fletching shot. Amid the people's despair, a hero came. This nameless champion snapped a branch from the sky-reaching blessed tree, took the dragon's vein from East Sea, wove an unburnable wraith spirit fletching, and ultimately crafted an almighty bow capable of piercing the sky from miles away. Finally, surrounded by the people and in front of the grand altar, the hero drew the almighty bow, aiming at the sky, and brought down the 9 suns one by one, leaving only the Sun Crow remaining. In fear and rage, it cawed as it fled. You short-lived mortal, I shall return when you are dead. The hero laughed back. Bring it on then. Another hero will rise after me with another almighty bow. The legend has begun. When you return, you'll be no deity, just a hapless bird destined to be shot down. Ha ha ha! That was a quick summary of the Ode to Sun. Now that we know how to fight the Sun Crow, time to get moving! A branch from the blessed tree, take the dragon's vein from the East Sea, weave a wraith spirit fletching, and finally, craft an almighty bow powerful enough to shoot down the Sun Crow from thousands of miles away. Myths are profound metaphors. They are puzzles given to us by the gods. It's okay if ordinary people don't understand. Leave the interpretation to those who have a gift for spiritual communication. That's exactly the job of seers in every generation. That's what I do. Yan Yan is the current seer for Sun Sink City, and I will lead everyone to seek the oracles and follow the mist instructions to craft the almighty bow for the Sunshot. Once the almighty bow is made and the Sun Crow is shot down, everything will come to a perfect conclusion.
This is a waste of time. I'm heading back to the front line. The Apostle's destination is Dis C. When it got into the 20-kilometer range last time, the resulting mania resonance already spread to 3 Black Ring ruins. I set aside all my tasks to come to this meeting to find a way to combat the Apostle of Ashes, not to listen to some outland brat's nonsensical babble. Is this what the frontline soldiers sacrificed their life for?
Hold on! Yan Yan is serious! I've been working hard on my seer training, and I've already mastered the art! Look!
She's a sinner?
Well, even 2 neighboring towns in Eastia can have vastly different customs, let alone this city which is worlds away. We must communicate in a common language. I am the scholar of the delegation. My area of expertise is Eastian mythology, and I have also studied some of this city's scientific theories. I am aware that the ways we perceive the world differ greatly. Let me be the interpreter here. In Eastia, there are a small number of highly intuitive and talented individuals who can comprehend the unknown and gain the psychic power to become seers. Here in this city, they might be called sinners and are to be captured and strictly monitored by a certain chief. But in Eastia, seers are greatly respected, especially as a key force against natural disasters when hypercubes are scarce.
We also have experts on sinners here. Of course, we know the potential power of this child and your seers.
Do you really? As early as last August, Yan Yan foresaw the Sun Crow's arrival at this city. That's why we've crossed the sea to be here. Had we come just a little later, the Sun Crow would likely have broken through your defenses yesterday. Our myths have been passed down for millennia. It's true that some of the ambiguous descriptions must have led to far-fetched interpretations, but there are indeed claims that have been verified. When the Sun Crow loses control, disasters follow wherever it goes. Poison uncured from plants impure, bane of the sea, and mines invaded by foul spirits correspond to the 3 strange phenomena. As the officer just mentioned, the 3 Black Ring ruins are already showing signs. After the 3 calamities, the Sun Crow will strengthen quickly and eventually burn down the entire city. Time is running out, and if we waste more of it on suspecting each other... Do you wish to witness the 10 suns hanging in the sky? And experience the apocalyptic disaster that destroyed our homeland and wreaked havoc across all of Eastia?
Are you threatening us?
Please, continue. This kind of practical intelligence is what we need. Please lend us your strength to stop the disaster.
Thank you, officer. But I'm only a non-combat mythologist in our delegation. The main force against the Sun Crow will be the Sealers and the Seer, who will guide us through the myth. They are the ones who need this city's special assistance. Of course. I'm relieved to know that Chief will be there. Are you taking us to your residence? Excuse me. The Bureau? We'll have a lot of important matters to discuss for the upcoming operations.
We indeed need their help, but we must also be vigilant of their ulterior motives. After all, it's been 8 years since we last saw our friends from the Outlands. Those myths and sorceries are beyond logic. If there really is an ulterior motive behind them, especially during this Apostle crisis, it'd be too dangerous. So, while assisting them, please also keep an eye out, Chief. I will stay in touch with you.
Well, I look forward to our cooperation, Chief.